There'll probably be some music, but we'll manage to find a quiet corner where we can talk.
welcome to my gorgeous son! Quarantine edition! Andy's shaking his head. What's going on? What's wrong, Andy?
You know, nothing at all. Nothing is going on. For some reason, we don't have any audio from you. So that's great.
Awesome.
Awesome. Just a second.
Damn.
No,
Luckily, there's
we
no
got
way
it.
to test
Do it again.
this.
Do it again.
And welcome to my gorgeous son! Quarantine... Did it disappear again?
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Quarantine edition! Every time we do this episode, we do a little technical run before we start, and something always goes wrong because we refuse to get it right. We're too real. Guys, would you say we're too real?
I think we're too real. Yeah, we're absolutely 100% too real. The problem with this, I'll say, is that we can't test it, literally can't test it without streaming. There's no way to test this without actually going live, which kind of defeats the purpose.
The Chicken and the Chicken's podcast, which came first.
Yeah, exactly.
The chicken or his podcast. Hard to tell.
I also like how Andy's sign for it's going well is to do like a referee timeouts sign.
You missed the thumbs. They were thumbs up. We're doing it.
I would, in my defense, the thumbs were accompanied by panicked eyes. Your eyes communicated the panic of this has gone wrong.
That's true.
You were literally that meme of the mask that smiles, but behind it is the weeping angry beast. You were that guy.
Yo, I do know that. I do remember that guy.
You know that creature?
I do.
I'm wearing the mask because it's quarantine day 1 for old Rolly. What day are you guys on?
Day 1?
Oh my god.
I had to reset. I went to a party last night. It was fucked.
You went to a party last night, Dad. What party?
Yeah, they called it a mask. A mask. MASQUE in the Edgar Allan Poe sense. Yeah, we went fucking nuts. Some guy showed up dressed up as COVID. We were all partying like, who's this guy?
What the fuck is going on? Why
we all got crazy sick at the end. It was awesome.
Was this like an eyes wide shut kind of party? Like everyone's wearing a mask?
Yeah, everyone was wearing a mask. Yeah, it was cool.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
What mask did you wear? Did you wear that like a COVID mask, or did you have like a plastic Richard Nixon mask, or?
Yeah, I had like a nice Richard Nixon mask with a ball gag.
Nice.
Oh God.
It was pretty sick.
That's good too.
Was there like a password to get into that, like eyes wide shut and stuff, or was it?
Yeah. The password was, Constitution. Because it's our constitutional right to do whatever the fuck we want in this country.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So you're supporting those Americans down there who are like coughing in people's faces for freedom or something?
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? Are
Yeah?
you kidding me?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Don't tread on me. I've always been a libertarian, Andy. That's why do you think I got that back tattoo of the snake refusing to wear a COVID mask and hanging out with other snakes and saying, don't tread on us.
So it's a pretty recent tattoo. Yeah. Did you get that during quarantine? Because you're not supposed to be getting tattoos when it's quarantined.
I've always believed in the power of libertarianism and friendship and not believing in germs. So honestly, this was just a fortuitous instance for me. I've had that tattoo for a while.
I heard you were trying to get an addition to that tattoo that was like another speech bubble that he's like, I'll stay inside a bit, but what are we going to do about summer and stuff? What about summer?
Yeah, and the font gets smaller at the end as it grows less certain of itself. Yeah, I was thinking about getting that addition, and the doctor just told me I would need more ass to support that much tattoo. Yes, I get my tattoos from a doctor.
Okay.
That's smart.
Dr. Ink. Dr.
Well, I agree.
Ink.
I got to say,
I call him Dr. Ink, but he really, he says I have to pronounce it drink.
Okay.
It's just a drunk guy, I know. As always, I'm here, Rolly, with my gorgeous boy, the titular boy, Andy Bush. How are you, Andy?
I'm great, Dad. Thank you. I have not gone to a party. I haven't been outside of my house for 3 days now. Truly, just not even gone out. So I'm getting a little bit kooky. I was up till 7 in the morning.
You should meet. Yeah,
you doing up all night.
I was doing.
It's a movie I'd like to watch. It's like a remake of The Shining, except about a gamer. That would be
Yeah.
your movie, Andy.
Oh yeah,
A
yeah.
gamer who never leaves his gaming chair.
And he doesn't.
then
He
goes-
never. He doesn't actually go. He doesn't kill his wife or his kids because he's too busy gaming. He's too busy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He's just.
And then his roommates come in and they're like, "How far have you made it in that game?" And you're like, "Pretty far." And you're just talking to the same NPC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Typing
in.
the
I'm just
same
in a
creepy
language loop
command.
over and over again.
Yeah.
You
Just
open
put-
an elevator door and Mountain Dew comes gushing through the hall.
Yeah. Everyone's like, "Are you feeling okay, Andy?" And you're like, I was promised no diabetes. The voices promised me." And you're like, "Voices, Andy?" You find out your shitty apartment was built on a burial ground of other gamers. Oh my god, my shitty apartment was built on a Korean gamer burial ground.
To be fair,
This is where that big fire happened during that esports tournament. And they never gave them separate graves. They just built a condo on top
to
of
be
it.
fair, that is not in the movie. That is just in the book. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm
Just
misremembering The
implied.
Shining.
You're misremembering The Shining.
So Andy, are you going kooky in your
Oh my God.
3-day stay?
Yeah, I am going kook. I've just been like taking like Kramer like hour-long naps or 20-minute naps throughout for the past I guess 72 hours. So I haven't like actually had like a chunk of time where I've slept. So it's been a little bit weird. It's been a little bit kooky. Just a second. My
that's wild.
roommate's cooking something sweet, so I'm just gonna just deal with that.
Cooking something sweet.
Yeah. Something.
What's Andy doing? What does he
He's just
expected
gonna
us
do
to
a
know what he
pass-
was doing.
No, I was just getting
The
some
most-
air fresheners, and they just.
Andy,
What?
you gotta let the smell of food in there.
No,
You
no.
can't
I
just
can't.
spray chemicals every time food smell reaches
I
you.
do that all the time. People, I mean,
That
again,
is
everyone's
myself.
got to cook. I get it. We have to cook. I cook too. It's just I like to have a very. I like to seal off my room so nothing comes in. No sound. No smells. No. Just
Andy,
like
when you say you cook too, do you mean you spray those chemicals on a sheet of heroin tinfoil and then smoke out of a pipe? Smoke the
That's-
fumes out of a pipe
That's a pretty good idea.
off the sheet? Are you smoking?
Of course not. I'm not a
black
drug
tar
addict. No,
Febreze?
I cook. I make French fries. You know, I have chicken fingers that I put in the oven. I cook.
Freedom fries.
Scentless.
Freedom
Scentless
fries. Yeah.
foods. Bland, scentless.
Oh, someone's asking what my roommate is cooking. I don't
Beige.
know yet, but I think it's onions and bacon and ham. Oh, and there we
Andy, I
go.
feel like it-
Oh, can we hear that? Can we hear that?
Oh, the smoke alarm.
Oh, they're burning something.
it's like fucking clockwork. I love
Wow.
it. We all do that. We all just kind
Andy
of.
will do his passive.
Oh, and here, wait,
aggressive-
hold on. He's getting the. Yeah, he's getting the chair to take it down.
You gotta just tell him to grab a tea towel.
No,
and
it
blow
doesn't
at
work. It doesn't work.
Oh,
I've
okay,
honestly,
my bad.
I took them down for a couple of days, and my roommate was like, "Please put them back up because it's
Yeah,
we
take the
need safety."
batteries out.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Just take the fucking batteries out, right? Like,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
'cause
nice.
that sound,
Whisper
if that sound
into
comes
this
into my
permanent
room,
recording.
and then I you know, it gets to me. So I need to.
I hear you,
I'm getting
Andy.
a little
Listen,
bit
I
nuts.
hear you.
Yeah.
That's rough
I know
stuff.
that.
I have a question. I feel like we have. Well, okay. Listen, we got to address the elephant in the room here, which is our intern Everardo
Yeah, we
appears
haven't
to have
mentioned
taken
this
a
at
turn
all.
for the worse.
Yeah, are you okay?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine actually. I'm not sick at all. What this is I'm actually doing a live-in protest. I'm protesting the stay-at-home orders. Cause let's get
Okay.
back to work. You know.
Wait, you're protesting the stay-at-home orders while at home?
Yes. Well, you know, I was protesting it by doing my Patch Adams routine at the hospital, but they
Right.
have actually banned me from the hospitals.
Yeah.
So I'm saying let's get back to work here because I've actually not been laid off. I'm the only guy at my office still working and it sucks. So I'm thinking this sucks for me because everyone else is at home having fun. I have to still work. So let's get things back. Let's get everyone back here.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
How can I be the only one? You know.
Everardo,
Yeah,
just to
your-
say,
your cord is crackling all
your
over
cord
the
is
place.
your cord is crackling, and it's also in a really really awkward position place. It's like going right up your crotch there, buddy. But that's fine. Yeah, just keep it all
Yeah,
tucked in.
Still crackling.
Yeah, we got some crackling.
Just anytime you touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't touch it. I will say this.
I have a mic stand coming on Monday.
Oh, good.
Okay. Now, let me say this. That's not an appropriate podcast mic, but I respect that you're using it because I know you're a bone-deep stand-up comedian, and you got to use the real thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I don't do, that's why we gotta get back here. If I don't do stand-up,
that sounds bad, man.
Buddy. You gotta
Right,
get. We gotta get you. You gotta get some duct tape and just tape that together.
Talk again, Ev.
Okay. How's this
grip
sound?
it. Oh, that's nice.
Whoa.
Oh, that's bad.
It's bad.
I don't want to change who you are, but what if you got nice and close to your computer and used the mic they've built into that?
Yeah.
Would that
No,
kill you?
No, this is fine as long as you just keep it nice and oh, buddy. Okay, whatever.
Should I get the computer mic or stay
No, I think we're okay.
perfectly still?
It seems weird to tell a guy who's lounging in the stillest way possible to stay still. But whatever imperceptible movements are causing that crackle, we're going to need you to cut them out, Ev.
All right, I'm just going to unplug and use the computer mic.
Make like an animal during hibernation and slow your heartbeat, I think. I think that's biologically accurate. Okay. Well, Ev, I want to find out more about your protest. What do you think? Can we find out about this now?
Yeah.
Andy, while Ev's figuring
How's
out
this
his
sound? How's the headphone mic sound? Does that work?
it sounds like you're on another planet, but Stefan, is that working for you?
I think Stefan. I'm see Stefan. Type in the chat if that's working. I mean, it sounds all right. No.
No, Stefan hates it.
How about this?
That's a bit.
Yeah, you're just sort of
Can
in
you
a
hear
big.
this?
Yeah, it's a big cave-like room sound. He wants you to sit closer. Ev, you got to give up your bit. I know you
Give
worked
up.
hard
It is
on this
over.
bit.
Give up the bit. Oh, that's way better. Yeah. Oh my
Let's
God.
do this.
Yeah.
Now talk.
All right. Sorry, folks. Sorry about the mic mishap. But,
Jesus.
this is exactly why we got to get out of the house and back to work.
Grub.
Stefan
we
has
can't
said
be doing
that's
this
good
Zoom.
enough.
That's good enough.
And someone said you have Irish nipples. Is that? I don't know what that means.
That's
Well, I'll have
that's
to-
nipples that say that just take off without saying goodbye.
That is what my 23andMe said. It said I was
Your nipples were Irish.
3% Irish, just the nipples.
Wow.
But yeah, I am protesting the stay-at-home order by doing a John Lennon-style live-in protest at home.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because I hate working, and I hate that I'm the only one from my work who didn't get laid off. It's bullshit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I'm thinking I'm the last guy who should be. If anyone is working, why me? I'm literally the worst one. And let's get everyone back.
Where do you work again? I'm sorry. Where are you working again?
I sell makeup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sell makeup online. It's like a whole company, but I run their website. So they're like, well, we can't have anyone here, but we can still sell stuff online. And they're like, I'm the guy who runs the website. The website doesn't work because I'm running it. And what they don't realize is I'm the worst worker there, but they think I'm the only one who can work right now. I'm like, this is BS.
Oh, okay.
And what would you say to people who desperately want to be working right now, who might find this bit tone deaf? How would you respond to that accusation, hypothetically?
I would say I agree. Like they should, there's plenty of people who want to work, but this is literally my dream to be at home, and everyone else in the world is at home having fun, and I'm the only sucker working.
You're in a take my job please type of scenario.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I gotcha.
Fair enough.
Ev, what would you be doing if you were officially laid off, if you had nothing but time? How would you be spending this time?
Oh man, I would be. I'd probably be working on a bunch of screenplays. Probably writing a screenplay every single day.
Oh yeah, probably.
You write.
Probably probably doing a web series. Probably.
Give me one idea. Web series, screenplay, anything. I want to hear one of your ideas.
Well, I'd probably do some sort of like it's kind of like a Kevin Hart style documentary about myself that I control the narrative and no bad message can come out.
That's okay. That's so big. Like, what would the thing be about? Just a guy who hangs
just,
out
like-
and doesn't want to work?
Yeah, it'd be like about a web series, kind of like based on me and my friends, because we're always saying funny stuff.
It would be a documentary about a web series about you and your friends.
Or a web series.
Okay.
I mean,
You
you
know,
should
these are
apply.
just a million ideas.
You know, the CBC has a whole thing where you can apply for that, right? You can get money.
Mm,
There's a
Yeah.
whole. It's $2 million. That's up
Yeah,
for
would you be-
grabs.
Would you be willing to set this web series about you and your friends chatting up north and in the past? Because then CBC might jump all over it.
They would love it. Come on,
Could
man.
one of your friends
yeah,
be
I'm willing
5
to
horses?
compromise.
Ev?
Look, you know, I've worked my entire life on this screenplay, and I am willing to change every aspect of it if anyone is interested. At
Wait,
all.
the story's changing. You've worked your entire life on what screenplay?
Well,
The
just
one
this one
about
that
the one that's
this one
just
that
an
I'm
idea.
gonna. I've been thinking about it my whole life, and I'm thinking if I ever have the time,
Yeah,
if I ever have a couple weeks free, then I can finally hammer it out.
yeah.
So it's basically written in my head. I just haven't actually written a single word on paper. Does that make sense?
Oh, I get
And
that.
you
Yeah,
should-
no, I know that.
You should write a Murdoch Mysteries spec script. We should all do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why don't we
good
all?
word.
Why don't we all? Honestly, why don't we all take, like next week we'll have a scene. We write one scene from Murdoch Mysteries. Maybe we can
Yeah.
combine it, and actually do something. Because like
Yeah.
for over the quarantine, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I want to write
Yeah,
a
I'm
script
down.
where Murdoch runs into Herman Melville before he's while he's writing Moby Dick, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
and he finds out about a plot to kill him. Some guy is like an anti-whale hunt type, an eco-terrorist, and he wants to kill Melville because he knows that this book will make people afraid of whales and want to kill whales. So Murdoch has to protect Melville from his pending murder.
You know,
That'd be awesome.
I'll say
You
I'll-
like that?
what?
Sorry,
And
Andy,
then,
go.
I was just saying. I'll say that show has taught me one thing. If it's taught me one thing, it's that so much happened in the mid 19th century. Like everything happened in the mid 19th century.
Oh, and everyone got together.
They all met each other. Yeah.
Murdoch met them all.
Yeah.
If you were alive at that time, Murdoch was going to meet you.
Yeah.
And you better hope that whatever crime was going on, you were just an incidental witness to it. You weren't the target.
Oh, Motown Billy Cum said, "Like your birth, Andy."
That's right.
Yeah.
The mid 19th century
Mid 19th century when I was
is
born.
a bit generous, but that's where we'll put it.
Okay.
A
Fine.
gentleman never tells what century he was really born in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Livid 521 said, "I wrote a Cavendish spec script where CBC crushed your dreams." Fuck.
Too meta. Too meta.
too
They've
meta.
never accepted. They've
Is
never
that what is that?
accepted.
What is that on
That's
your
got to be the subtext.
Oh, the subtext. Yeah, yeah. Exactly. You can't just write that. Okay.
I was
I'm gonna
actually.
be. Oh, go ahead, Ev.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about writing a what's that show called? Murdoch's Mysteries spec script where he meets Laura Secord.
Oh,
And,
nice.
And he actually invents ice cream and gives it to her, and she's like, I like this. Maybe after
Sick.
this war, I like this. I'll do more of this.
I wrote
Okay.
an episode and then found out it's a real episode of Murdoch. Remember that Canadian Heritage commercial where James Naismith is inventing basketball, and then he goes, "Well, why don't we cut the bottoms out of the peach baskets?" And then the peach farmer is like, "I need those baskets for my peaches." So anyway, apparently there's a real episode where that peach farmer, he can't harvest any of his peaches because none of his baskets have bottoms. So he vows revenge against Dr. James Naismith, and Murdoch has to get in there before he can do the deed. And the whole thing culminates in a big early basketball game where Murdoch hits the winning layup.
Still in his uniform.
awesome.
Still in his police uniform.
Yeah, and then Johnny Harris in his police uniform from the stand says, "For 3!" And another guy turns to him and says, "I think we're getting ahead of ourselves." Because the three-pointer hasn't been invented yet. It's a little wink and a nod to the modern audience.
I have a genuine question. Has there, if anyone in the chat or anything like that, has he ever met Sherlock Holmes? Like that would be a perfect episode where he meets another
God.
crime fighter.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Where he meets it,
Be
and
kinda like a...
they have like a gentleman rivalry or something like that. I mean, I'm just wondering, curious. I'm just curious.
Does Murdoch have a Moriarty? Murdochiarty?
Yeah.
Does he have like an enemy who's like equally,
Yeah.
Savvy?
If anyone has seen an episode of Murdoch Mysteries at all, because I have not seen anything, please in the chat let us know if he has an arch nemesis, some, I guess, inventor or something. I don't know who it would be. Someone who knows how to make.
Stefan is saying Colin Mockery is what?
No,
is
he's not.
Is Moriarty?
Oh wait, I think actually, yeah, that was.
That explains why there's that one.
That.
There's that one character who I guess is played by Colin Mockery, who every time he comes on screen says, "Could I get a suggestion for a way to thwart Murdoch?"
and then he just ends up. Then he just ends up
hoedown.
fucking up a song.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah. I love
Colin
Mockery.
Oh, Colin Mockery's awesome. Listen, we don't want to go too far into this episode without introducing our entire topic.
Yes.
And then our guest. We got a whole thing. We're wasting time. I'm pissed off now. It is World Book Day. It is the official UNESCO World Book Day. Why is it World Book Day, you might ask? Well, because it is simultaneously Shakespeare's birthday and apparently the day Shakespeare died. Now that's symmetry.
Whoa.
The kind of symmetry only Shakespeare could write, I think.
Yeah.
So we decided with this episode to celebrate the bard himself, the bad boy Willie. We're talking about Shakespeare. We're going to do a whole episode where we're celebrating Shakespeare. We got a special guest to interview who we're going to introduce momentarily. Not going to tell you who he is yet. But before we get into that, let's really quickly talk about a topic I can't wait to introduce, which is our favorite. No, you know what? I'm doing this out of order.
Okay.
I want to meet Shakespeare first.
Let's meet him.
I gotta meet him first.
Yeah, let's talk about all this with him.
We'll talk about it with him. Please welcome, everybody, the man himself. He's going by the moniker Wet Willie. Coming to us from the past or the present, we're not sure. It's Shakespeare! It's Shakespeare!
Whoa.
Oh, hello, gentlemen. It's so good to see you, my gorgeous son.
Oh, wow.
I, the bard of Avon, the Shakespeare original.
Okay, look at that. Wow, Shakespeare
I feel
yourself. This is incredible.
That's right.
I feel like I saw this outfit earlier, Shakespeare, and it was missing the glasses and nose combo that have only confused it.
Yes, because ever since I faked my death on April 23rd, I've had to live in some version of disguise. So I've actually been wearing these glasses here since 1609, I think.
So you've been wearing Groucho Marx glasses since the 1600s, he said?
That's right. Since the day I died, quote, wink, wink, I've been wearing these glasses, which I then lent once foolishly to Groucho Marx, and he's like, "Hey, this look works for me. I'm 8 right now, but I could grow into it." And,
wow!
Wow!
The rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's so much I want to talk about based on what you just implied.
Sure.
Not even implied. Said.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear.
So first of all, you've never died.
No,
That's interesting. And
Yes.
secondly, you spent part of the early 20th century in the vaudeville scene.
Whoa!
I certainly did. Yeah.
I'm curious. Tell me
Wow.
more.
So
Well, you're a man of the theater.
what do you want to hear first? How I faked my death, or how I had a short, unsuccessful stint in vaudeville?
I know it should be the first one, but I'm so much more curious about the second one. Let's start there.
Great. So the year was 1879, and I said to myself, you know,
Columbus
Willie?
sailed the ocean fine. Go on.
Kneeled down, found a dime, said, I'd like to sail one of these. Canadian dime. Blue nose. Hey.
Yeah, Columbus found a Canadian blue nose, and that gave him the idea to sail.
Yes, that's right.
You found a dime.
I think, I don't know. I'm not good with dates, you know. Don't even get me
Sorry, I
started on
interrupted you.
prunes. That's okay. So yes, it was 1879, and a friend of mine was opening up a series of Pantages theaters, 27th row, North America. At this time, I was whoring myself out in Chicago for thrills.
Okay.
Yeah, I started, you know, having sex for money with some local prominent performers who thought, hey, it'd be cool to fuck Shakespeare. And
So you weren't hiding your identity.
Yeah,
Not
wait.
to-
Yeah, you were.
not to my suitors,
Ah.
of course.
You take the
Is-
Groucho glasses off. I just
Yeah.
realized we look the exact same.
Yeah, someone said you-
like your disguise looks exactly how
Someone
I just
said you
look.
guys are ancestrally related. Someone, Frankel said that.
Wait,
Yeah, Shakespeare.
what's your grandpa's name, Everardo?
Well, it actually is William.
No way. I think
Oh my
there's a
God.
good chance we're related.
Are you
Yeah.
his grandpa?
I require every 6th grandchild to be named William, so
Wow.
that would work out.
Interesting.
That'd be fucked.
Anyways, I
You
thought
never
I
did
could,
it.
I thought I could juggle on the vaudeville circuit. I thought I would just get up on stage and figure it out, you know? I thought I would just get up on stage and just work out how magic is. I ended up cutting a bunch of women in half and got chased out of town. So
Jesus.
Oh wow.
Damn.
So you've murdered
Okay.
people. Good lord.
Yeah. see,
and I
You're a
thought I
bad
was
guy.
doing magic
Okay.
in
And
my
I heard that
defense.
I heard there was that famous night where you were doing vaudeville and you weren't really getting any laughs, and you were like, you know what? This is actually more of storytelling. It's not about that.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Shakespeare, did you invent the moth storytelling circuit?
Yes, but back then we called it the Globe.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, a little homage to where you came from.
That's right.
That is the funniest idea to me. The idea that there was a vaudeville alternative for storytellers. But they were still abusive to their kids.
Yeah.
Tell a story. Tell a heartfelt story. Have a nice little turn at the end.
Cry. Pause. Cry.
Oh, did you Shakespeare? Actually, someone in the chat mentioned this. Did you know that the CBC has a creative relief fund and they're looking to adapt plays into sitcoms?
Get out of here.
Here.
So, I mean, you know, there might be some money for you. Well, I don't know if you have to be Canadian or not. I have no idea. I don't know exactly. what it is.
Shakespeare, I've got an idea for a play. I got an idea for a series.
Excellent.
Okay, it's based on the Taming of the Shrew. It's called The Taming of the Crew, and it's about a dance crew that's
Yeah.
too wild.
Yeah.
Too wild.
Oh,
Too
yeah.
wild.
But-
Too
I love
horny.
this.
One teacher who wants to help these kids make it to the finals of the dance crew competition,
Yes.
and he has to tame them.
Yes. With
I like that.
storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah, yes,
That's
yeah. He gets
that's
them
how I
completely
reach the
out of the
youth.
dance world. He gets them into creative storytelling in a series of the backs of restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that could work. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but Shakespeare wrote a couple stories. And also Shakespeare, me, not really worried about money.
Oh, really? Why
Oh,
are
I am
you?
doing
You're
quite
independently
well.
wealthy.
Yeah,
Royalties, I'm assuming.
I own a number of tenement buildings in London.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's not royalties at all.
Oh, so you're like an asshole
Oh.
landlord. You're like a piece of shit landlord.
I'm a piece of shit landlord. Yes.
Oh my God. I honestly lost all
Shakespeare.
respect for you.
Come on,
Oh,
Shakespeare.
excuse me.
No.
Oh, like you've never tried to turn a dime with your ass before.
I am not.
That's not the part we're objecting to.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, again, I don't have a problem with that. It's just I don't like landlords exploiting people. That's terrible.
It's not that I'm exploiting people. It's that there's vulnerable people who I'm taking advantage of.
Shakespeare, are you the same Shakespeare who tried to get me involved in a long-term Airbnb gambit?
Yes, I did.
And how's that working out for you?
It didn't work out great, but I used somebody else's money, so I'm still flush.
I'm actually
wow.
reading your Airbnb profile right now, and your reviews aren't great, to be honest.
Yeah. There's
It
a
says
lot
that
of,
you offered a hot tub, and then when it got there was no water. And you're
There's
like,
hot
there still
water.
is a hot tub.
there's a
it's just
tub in the
empty.
kitchen, and they can fill it with hot water, or they can fuck off.
Wow. Wow.
So it's just an empty tub. You've
Yeah.
provided the shell of a tub.
Yeah, that's right. One time it was just a floating barge.
Wait.
Wait, a floating you rented out
Wait.
a floating barge to people?
No,
Yeah.
the tub is the part that holds the water. A barge goes on top. Wait, you just have a barge in a kitchen?
Yeah,
A boat. A barge is a boat.
Oh, hold on. Did you rent out a barge to people, or did you? Yeah, like Mark said, did you put, or Rolly said,
So-
did you put a barge in the kitchen?
I started with a barge in a kitchen, and I listened to the complaints, and I put the barge on some water, the River Thames, and I rented
Yeah.
that out as an Airbnb, as an open concept. You can eat wherever. There's really infinite amount of bathroom options.
Could they control where this barge went, or did it just sail down the fucking Thames?
No, they would get on the barge. I would chop the chain with an axe.
Yeah.
Say, see you in hell, fuckers.
Okay.
A lot of
Shakespeare.
these reviews are saying there seems to be confusion between barge and tub. The owner doesn't know.
Wait,
From a
Shakespeare.
different time, man.
Let me poke one more hole here, because when you say there's an
Sure.
infinite number of bathroom options,
Uh,
do you actually mean there's 0 bathroom options? People are supposed to pee and poo on a public river?
See, I'm the creative type, I like people to use their imaginations. Anything can be a bathroom.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was the theme
Well-
of a lot of your plays. Just anything could be
Yeah.
a bathroom.
There was that
Anything-
famous rally cry in King Henry,
Yes.
where he's like, "You can shit literally anywhere, and that's the bathroom."
Yeah.
Uh,
Once more.
The
pitching
famous
the
Shakespeare
loaf.
play King Henry.
Yeah, what's
You
a
know.
what's a line from one of your plays that you're especially fond of, Will?
Well, I'm a little bit like Ozzy Osbourne when he tours, or I need a teleprompter for my plays when I'm
I hear you.
touring. You know what I mean? I wrote them
Yeah.
so long ago. Some of my favorite
Yeah.
lines probably that stick out in my mind would be, "Hey, put that down, please."
Yeah,
Okay, what's
Yeah,
that
I
in
remember
reference? What? Sorry.
I think that's Henry again talking to Falstaff after Falstaff picked up the crown and he went, "Ugh, who am I?"
Yeah. Hey, put that down, please.
You're also a lot like Ozzy in that you are confused by a remote control.
Yeah, it baffles the mind.
I have
Now,
a
let me
quick.
say. Oh yeah, go ahead, Andy.
I just have a quick question. Are you working on anything new? I mean, I know that you were selling your body, and you're also a landlord, so you're independently wealthy. But
Yes.
are you planning on getting back into the playwriting game at any point?
Andy, what do you think independently wealthy means? You keep tying it into just someone having
Yeah.
jobs.
Wait, no. Hold on. No, that is not a job. Fucking owning property, that's just passive income. Landlords, I don't
enough.
count that. I don't count
Okay,
that.
listen. This is Andy's big spiel after I started trying to charge him
Yeah.
rent for living in my basement.
Passive
He really
income
became
Andy
interested
has
in
ruined.
landlord
We
politics.
are in late
after
stage
that.
capitalism. We are landlords and people and investors are just ruining the entire world.
Well, Andy, you tell the landlords it's not a job when they have to kick out a family on the
Yeah.
streets because they're a couple days late for rent, and that's
You
hard
don't-
work.
You don't think that's hard work, chucking a baby out a window?
Oh, I
Kids
am
have a lot of
sorry.
shit that you have to remove from the house.
Hell
and
yeah.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
Memories, toys.
Fucking.
If you think you have the lower body strength to lift multiple babies from their cribs and escort them onto a curb, okay. But skilled labor to me.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It
they
hurts
don't,
your knees if you do it wrong.
they don't even
And
do
your
that.
back.
They get the system to do it for them. They get police officers and things like that. They don't even get out. They don't even get out of their goddamn house to do it.
If
And
you
that's
don't think,
admin work. That's admin work.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
fucking they have to pick up the phone and call the police and say, these people are in arrears. Anyway, sorry.
Ooh,
What were you
yeah.
saying?
Speaking of in arrears, my foot's gonna be in your arrears if you don't shut the fuck up, Andy.
Yeah, I'm your
I gotta calm
esteemed-
down. I gotta
I'm
calm
your
down.
esteemed guest, and I just feel wholly insulted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Shakespeare. I apologize. It's you're right. I mean, we're here to talk about you, the bard, and what you've done, not the fact that you own several properties in London and are making money off of poor people. I'm sorry. I
I'm
apologize.
the landlord upon Avon.
You're the landlord upon Avon. Okay. All right. That sounds good. I'm gonna slow my
Shakespeare.
roll. Although the chat is with me, by the way. The chat is on
well,
board
Yeah.
with this
Yeah, we got a
Marxist
woke
talk.
fan base.
Yeah.
I guess everybody's a playwright these days, huh?
yeah, that's why they're against you, Shakespeare. They don't respect the craft anymore.
Well, I was
Shakespeare?
sorry. Yeah.
Can I say, I saw your web series Landlord of the Rings, and I was into it.
Thank you. I worked
funny.
very hard on that.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson did me a favor.
I like how it's about two humble landlords going on a trek to the top of a mountain to collect some much needed rent.
Oh God.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
had
nice.
there was like that weird golem kind of character who was possessed by a key.
yeah. My precious key ring. That's what he
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah, he keeps going like this, squatters' rights. And he's a villain.
Fucking villain.
You gotta crush him and throw him in a milky river.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I take these off?
No, not at all.
Whoa. Oh wow. Hey.
I feel like we've gotten to know each other a little bit now, and I
Yeah.
can reveal my true identity.
Wow. Shakespeare, may I say you look a little bit like Christopher Lee. Speaking of Landlord of the Rings, you've got a Christopher Lee quality to you.
Thank you very much. I take that as a compliment.
He's dead, so I'm talking about him now.
Oh, yeah.
You dead
Ow-
bitch.
Ouch.
Shit, I walked right into that one.
Now I got so many more questions about immortality and the way you've been living your life the past 500 years or so. But first, I want to get into this segment that we put on the shelf a little while ago. Let's bring it out now. It's always fun to talk about our favorite movies. It's a subject we all have a deep fondness for. So in honor of you, Mr. Shakespeare, I thought maybe today we could talk about our favorite Shakespeare adaptations. What do you think of that?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
like
great.
that.
So I'm sure we've all got our own favorites. I've made a list of my favorites, including some brief Wikipedia plot synopses for anyone who hasn't seen them. But I've tried to get outside the box a little, so not just straight up, Macbeth or King Lear adaptations, just ones that got a little creative with it.
Cool.
So number 1, 10 Things I Hate About You. We all seen this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched it the other day, to be honest.
Did you? What'd you think?
Yeah. I loved it. And I noticed there was, in one scene early on, there's like 2 cowboys in the high school. Like they're
What?
like they're just like
What?
in the background of Joseph Gordon-Levitt. There's just like 2 cowboys, and there's like all the like cliche like types of high school kids, like the cool kids, the cheerleaders, the jocks and nerds, and then just 2 cowboys in the background. Which I thought was interesting.
Takes all kinds in a high school. Adam, if you could summarize the plot of 10 Things I Hate About You based on Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, what would do the summary?
Okay, so basically this girl wants to go to parties, but she's not allowed unless her older sister goes, but her older sister is weird and doesn't believe in parties. And then Heath Ledger, who's like a bad boy, is like, I'll make her want to go to a party.
I'll
And she
tame that
does.
shrew.
I'll teach her how to party or something. And then there's like nerds who are involved and like scheming behind the whole thing. I think actually nerds are behind the whole thing. That's basically
That's it. Okay,
part
that's
of
the
the
plot?
Yeah.
That's the full.
Holy
That's
shit.
the worst plot summary I've ever heard in my life. Some
Well,
girl wants to
what-
go to a party. A guy wants to get her into parties, and maybe nerds are behind the whole thing. Full stop. That's barely a premise, let alone a plot summary. What
Well,
happened?
What?
Nerd.
Did you see it? Did you
That's the
actually
plot.
see 10 Things I Hate About You? You said you saw it
Yeah,
recently.
I literally watched it like 2 weeks ago. Okay, so then she goes to the party. She gets drunk.
Hang on.
dances on a
Sorry.
table.
Sorry, Everardo. We can only see half of your nipple. Could you please open that shirt up a little bit more?
I'm being conservative here. She goes to a party. She dances on a table, and then Heath Ledger's like, "Damn!" And then they do go. Then they date, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the
Okay.
sister's like, "Now I can also fuck," or something.
She
I
can go
think
to
it's-
parties.
Yeah,
I got
that's
you.
pretty much
Okay.
it.
All right.
Shakespeare, did you ever see it?
Yes.
Adaptation of your work.
I saw it when it came out. I was Heath Ledger's +1.
Ow!
Oh,
Aw.
wow.
I feel
Yeah.
like there's photographic evidence that might say otherwise, but I'm gonna take your word for this.
Well,
No, I
was-
think I did. I do remember Getty images of Shakespeare of some guy wearing Groucho Marx mask.
Yeah.
behind.
I was quite thin back then, so
I gotcha. And what was Heath Ledger like to hang out with? Was he a good guy?
just salt of the earth. Love that guy. We used to surf together. I would sit on his surfboard like a little dog, and he would tell me stories about the sea. And we'd surf around, and then I get on the back of his moped, and he'd drive me around Los Angeles and point out his favorite ice cream places. And then he dropped me off, and he says, "Here's 10 things I like about you." And-
Oh wow.
He quoted the movie. That's
yeah. And
okay.
What were
Yeah.
some of the things he liked about you?
You say you have an ass that won't quit. Your eyes tell a story. Your smile lights up a room and a womb. Your
The
voice
womb.
is so nice.
I heard he kind of copped out at the end of the list and just started
I
naming
know.
plays.
Yeah,
He's like, also, I like Macbeth.
I like Toledo.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's nice. Well, I gotta say, my favorite thing about 10 Things I Hate About You, or one of the things I love, is that it maintained your original setting, Shakespeare, which was high school.
Yes.
Yep.
And I love the scene from your original play where they're all sitting around class and Petruchio says, "Dost anyone else think math class is a snooze?"
Yes.
I like that you wrote that, and I like that they kept it.
And you have to understand, math was quite a bit more boring back then.
Oh,
Once
Yeah.
you got through the abacus, you were pretty much done math.
that's
wow,
that's
it's
a little
just
more
abacus,
simple.
huh?
Yeah. I guess it was pre-calculus, right? So
Yeah, it was pre-cal, pre-com,
oh,
all
you
that.
took pre-calc? That's what I call pre-calc. Now that's what I call pre-calc.
an abacus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before calc was even invented, that's what I call pre-calc.
That's what I call pre-cal. Okay.
Okay, well, let's talk about my second favorite Shakespeare adaptation, which was the Paul Haggis movie Crash, which was, of course, based on the Shakespeare play, A Series of Droll Coincidences That in Truth Are Not So Droll. It was a great film and a great play, and I love that your play featured the famous closing line, "The truth of creation that we must faceth is all are connected, so don't be racist." I liked that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it was delivered by Fig, the horny imp that everyone hates. I liked that.
Yeah, that was. I don't remember that line particularly, but yeah, it was kind of a rhyme. But I mean, you didn't do like full rhymes sometimes, right? Shakespeare, you would do like kind of like sound alikes and things like that.
Sometimes I would write some words that would come together, and sometimes I would write some words that would never.
All right.
I feel
Okay.
you're doing sort of a slam poetry energy right now.
Yeah.
Are you involved with the slam poetry scene?
Huge part of the slam poetry scene. And tell me this, are we not suffering right now?
Oh, I'm sorry for that. What do you think
the
of? Can I
slam
ask?
poetry scene
Slam.
is suffering? Yeah.
Can I ask you, what do you think of Hamilton? Because that's kind of like modern day Shakespeare a little bit, right?
I liked it. Hamilton in person, the real Hamilton, who I went to high school with. I went to high school a bunch of times.
Okay, all right.
over the centuries.
Pretty
Just
fun.
whenever I
That's a little weird though, right? Because you'd be really old at that point going to high
For
school.
sure, I was super old. But if I ever just wanted to relive the setting of Taming of the Shrew, I would just go back to high school for a semester. And,
Okay.
That's
yeah,
cool.
I met Hamilton, and he kind of a jerk. But I mean, if you're gonna be that powerful, and at some point in your life, you have to do it with acting like a bull. I guess
Acting like a what?
A what?
bull. Well, just
What are you
be
talking about?
Hamilton. Anyways, next question.
Oh, just
I've never seen Hamilton. Andy, have you seen it? Or Ev? Or anyone?
I've never seen it, no. But I feel like I don't like
well,
it
I
for
follow
some reason.
Lin-Manuel on Twitter, so I feel like it's pretty much. I get it.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean,
I
mean, I get it.
his
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
he's got like fucking 5 million followers, and every single one of his tweets is like, you. Yes, you. Hey, listen, I'm talking to you. You
Yeah.
matter. It's like, shut the
Fuck that.
fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Rolly said, shut the fuck up.
Some people need that though, Dad. Some people don't feel good about themselves, so then they'll open up their Twitter and then they'll see Lin-Manuel saying, "Hey, it's okay. I like you
Yeah.
specifically."
I know. And it's nice to know that there's a bunch of broken people in the world that Lin-Manuel will just go into their brains and fish all the remaining money out of their wallets.
It's good. It's nice.
It's nice to know we got a little parasite who's willing to take advantage of the broken folk. I'm kidding. I mean, I don't know how I feel. It does feel like there's a place for that. Maybe I just can't relate to wanting that in any way.
I've
So I'm
heard
being rude.
people who say they're like, "This
Yeah.
sounds like a dumb play," but then watch it and they're like, "Oh, it's actually so good." Hamilton.
I mean, all musical theater kind of sucks, but is kind of great. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't doubt that. I probably
Yeah.
love it by the end.
I went and saw the Pajama Game in Toronto. It was just, it's a crazy 50s fucking musical that it's literally just about going to a park and having a day. That's it. It's just, there's no plot. And I thought but I loved it.
Shakespeare likes that.
You like it? There's no
Yeah.
plot. It's just like the song is like, "This is our once a year day, once," and it's just like they're just dancing around and they're doing backflips, and there's literally, it's like Cats, but with like in the 50s.
Andy, I know you're trying to have my back on this, but I hate what you're describing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not really.
That sounds like the worst thing I've ever heard of.
I know it sounds like it, but you watch it and you're just like, "Oh my god, I love this. I want to be with these people. I want to hang out with these people." And I literally
Yeah, that
went and
sounds-
tried to buy the soundtrack at like H&M, and then I listened to it, and I guess I was out of the spell.
H&M.
Not H&M.
There's like that's like the same as
HIV.
those, as annoying as
Yeah,
No,
I'll say.
what's it called? What was it called back in the day?
HIV. That's what you're thinking of.
No, it's not what I'm
Yeah.
thinking of. I'm not thinking of HIV, Shakespeare.
Yeah, you're thinking of HIV,
T-shirts.
Andy.
What the fuck? No, I'm thinking of Isn't it H&M? Her Majesty's Voice? What was it? No, H&M
Yeah,
sells the
yeah.
clothes.
Her
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Majesty's.
Andy, you got it right. You went into H&M. Most people were buying clothes, but you said, "Do you have soundtracks?" And they said, "Yeah, actually, no one ever asks for those, but we got a whole rack of soundtracks. It's
Yeah.
next to the athletic wear.
Okay. And
Go
and
ahead."
all right, sure. So whatever I went into, I'm pretty sure it was H&M, and I listened.
HIV.
HIV, sure, whatever. And I listened to it, but the spell of the musical had worn off, so it was just the worst music, and it was just really over the top, like the worst kind of. So what I'm saying is, like, when you're in there, there's a spell around you, like the musical hits you, and you're just like all that energy, and you're into it. That's what musicals
What-
do. That's
While
why.
you
aura
were,
of the theater.
That's why people like
you-
Cats in the theater, but the movie was terrible. Right?
Right.
People like see the theater and the spectacle of Cats, and they're into it, but the movie is just complete crazy garbage. I think.
did you
HMV,
know-
that's what it was. HMV.
did you know that at one point you could watch Hamilton the musical on Pornhub?
What? Are you
True.
kidding?
Somebody uploaded it, and the title was "Revolutionary Twinks Have Historical Fun."
That's great.
That's very true.
I actually love that.
Nice.
Fuck that. It's crazy that it's so much money to see Hamilton, and it's all about. Oh, anyway, whatever.
Andy,
Yeah.
you know what? This is gonna drive you up the wall.
What?
But there's a landlord's discount to see Hamilton on
Fuck
Broadway.
off. That's
Yeah.
not true.
Landlord's Landlords get 75% off if they can prove they're a landlord.
No, it's. I mean, I wouldn't
went-
doubt it.
I
wouldn't
went
doubt
for
it
my
'cause-
landlord meeting group. That's where I met Shakespeare and invited him to be on this podcast pre-COVID days. We were part of our landlords Groupon.
Yeah.
That was last night, wasn't it?
Yeah,
sorry.
it wasn't last night. Quarantine day 1. But we met up in Broadway and we had a gas. It was you, me, it was Donald Sterling, and some other creeps.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I love that. I love that rich people get the discounts. They get so much more discounts. If you have like a nice, that happens with like credit cards and everything. There's like rich people want to give other rich people fucking discounts.
When you're
and
rich,
money.
you can do whatever you want. Have you ever seen that clip of Kanye performing at that like Saudi prince's wedding or something, and just no one's paying attention because who cares? Probably cost $25 million to take him out there. They're just showing how little they care. I did that with my landlord money. I'm fucking rolling in it. I did that at my last wedding to a babe you'll never meet. And you know who I had performing?
Who?
Dave Grohl. And I forced him to perform in a pit.
Jesus Christ.
And we shoveled dirt on him.
And he's only allowed to play drums. He wasn't allowed to play guitar.
He could only play the drums to Monkey Wrench. And he was like, I didn't even play drums on this song. We said, learn them.
Oh, good God.
Taylor's not walking in that door. We said,
I heard he the entire time. I heard he disrespected him so much. You had him playing Foo Fighters songs, and you weren't even paying attention to him. And you had also hired Theory of a Dead Man to play on the other end of the property, and you're like, we're gonna watch this instead.
Yes, we did, but we also hired the number one Foo Fighters naughty tribute band, Pooh Fighters, to play so loudly, and everyone just got into it.
Yeah, and everyone liked it.
Oh, Jesus
Christ! They just replaced, and they do really good Foo Fighter covers, and they just replace the main, lyrics with Pooh related.
There's Pooh related stuff. There's lots of naughty stuff. Yeah. Big Meat becomes Big Peen. Other songs also.
Hero, that song. What is it? You Can Be My Hero. No, something like
There
that.
Goes My Hero.
Yeah. There goes my hero.
Yeah.
And he's actually talking about it like passing through his system, a hero sub.
Yeah, coming out his ass. Yeah. And when he says watch it as it goes, he's describing you watching a hero sandwich coming full out of his ass.
Oh, Jesus.
He hasn't digested it at all.
Okay.
He gets one of those cameras they do for colonoscopies, and he just leaves it a little bit in his butt.
I've lost this. I've lost the train of what's happening.
And then he tries to shit past the camera.
What's going on?
I heard that. I love their cover of Everlong, which is still called Everlong, but it's just talking about a really long turd.
Yeah, it's a poo-poo that goes on forever, and it propels you to heaven, and then you meet God, and he shakes your hand.
Are we losing viewers?
Oh yeah. Hand over fist.
Okay, listen.
Sorry,
we got so many more Shakespeare adaptations to talk about. We talked about the Paul Haggis movie Crash being an adaptation. Coincidentally, the David Cronenberg film Crash was also based on one of your plays, Shakespeare, as I'm sure you know. It was a little-known sequel to A Midsummer Night's Dream called Return to the Dream, in which the same group of characters realized that the forest fairies or whatever from the first play are no longer enough to get them off. So they start crashing their horses and carriages into each other and having sex in the wreckage. And it, of course, features the famous line, "Lord, what fools these mortals be, having sex while crashing me." And that line is delivered by a horse. While a little fucking horny imp named Fig watches.
And everybody fucking hates Fig.
Oh, nobody likes Fig.
Yeah, I was actually we used to be an actor, and I played the backside of that horse. It was one of my very first roles. So I didn't
Return to the Dream?
Yeah. It was infuriating because I didn't have any lines, but I had to like follow around this guy as he had a big monologues and about people getting off on him and coming on him and stuff. It was just disgusting. It was fucking gross, and I hated it. So
I've heard an ode to that character sung by the Pooh Fighters.
Yeah.
It's their only original song.
It's also called monologue.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's get through some of the rest of these adaptations that we love. We all know about this one. The film Aliens was an adaptation of,
yeah, I didn't know that.
as you know, Shakespeare, one of your lesser known plays called Aliens. And in that play, I don't know why I'm reminding you, but here it is. In that play, a team of English knights travels into space before being set upon by creatures which God himself hath abandoned, and the knights would soon find they'd been stranded. And it features your famous line, "'Tis game over, sire. 'Tis game over."
Yes, just as they plunge the big old sword into the alien's chest.
I mean, I just have to say that's also impressive in that there were no video games back in your day, and you still had the foresight to know that would be a term.
Right.
Well, I don't think game over at that time related to video games, did it?
Oh, it did.
No, it related to the games we used to play of brutality and sport.
And
Sports.
I heard back in your day, in the days of the Globe, you famously wouldn't allow aliens to be actors, so little children played the role of aliens.
That's right. We took little children and we put big balls on them.
Balls?
What?
That's what made them aliens?
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't sure how, but we're like, history will figure it out.
Sick. Now, I've always heard that when you put on your plays, it was so much more like now, I'm sure you know, when you go to a Shakespeare play in the theater, it's very polite. The theatrical experience is very stiff. But at the time, it was sort of like down and dirty. People screaming shit, throwing shit.
Yeah, hand jobs throughout.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right then.
There was actually a mosh pit at many of your plays.
Yeah, we kind of started the whole mosh pit thing, you know?
Yeah, I remember. That's my favorite Shakespeare sonnet is called "Get in the Pit."
Yeah.
And try to love someone.
Yeah. We, you know, whenever the play would start getting slow or the audience would lose their focus, somebody from the audience would say, pick it up, you know? And then the next night I would rewrite that part to be a little more exciting, you know?
Yeah, that's cool.
And then
all right.
there was that famous incident when you hired the Hells Angels for security at one of your plays and they stabbed someone.
Oh,
Yes.
That was too bad.
It was too bad. They only stabbed one person, so it was a pretty low.
Oh, you were looking for more.
Stabbings
Yeah. It's not a good play unless at least 5 or 6 people get stabbed, right?
Yeah, no one's allowed to leave the theater until they're either married or stabbed.
Oh.
Yeah. I heard that was the original Waiting for Godot. Godot was supposed to come out actually pretty early, but he got stabbed. And then at the end of the play, everyone was like, that fucking ruled. And then Samuel Beckett was like, shit, yeah, I meant to do that. So I guess what I'm saying is the stabbings were going on into the 20th century. We've only lost them pretty recently.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Yeah.
But that's why in the original Waiting for Godot, and it got written out, but in the original one, apparently there's a lot of moments where the actors would kind of look off stage like, is he Godot? They repeat their lines really loud, like, I hope Godot doesn't show up now.
And there's a lot of like looking up at the booth, like.
Yeah. And that's still
a
in
lot
some
of people whispering, I don't know, to each other.
Yeah.
I sure hope.
Just go with it.
I sure hope Godot isn't late.
Yeah. Should we just stick with this part, or should we move on as if he's on stage?
There was that weird part where one of the actors pretended to be Godot, tried to throw the voice off stage. I'm coming. I'm just a second.
That's my favorite stage direction is one of the guys starts to pretend he's Godot. One of the guys.
They
said it
doesn't
was
even
the fastest written play ever.
specify which one.
No.
He says something, I guess. There was a lot of I guess in the stage directions, which was weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of I guess I'll move this cube again.
Yeah. Guys riff on how Godot isn't there yet. There's a lot of like square bracket stage directions.
Yeah.
Where's Godot Walla? That word was thrown around. Walla. Just sort of a blanket of sound. Okay, listen. I want to.
There's the same
There's
thing
so
with
much.
Eugene O'Neill's The Iceman Cometh. That Iceman was supposed to come out Act 1, Scene 1, and
the
So they
makeup
just
was
ripped-
just too. The makeup was just too much. They couldn't get the makeup on.
they thought they could, but they didn't test it.
It
before
never.
it came
Yeah,
out.
it just didn't work out.
So they
Yeah.
they're pretty docile play about a family struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot-
waiting for the
A lot of
Iceman.
people being like, "Where's the Iceman?"
Oddly enough, did you know that Encino Man is actually based off of The Iceman Cometh?
Is that real?
Yeah.
I've never read the Iceman. the
You
Iceman
never
Cometh.
you never read The Iceman Cometh?
I've seen the pornographic version, which is the same title also.
Oh, okay.
You know that famous line in Iceman Cometh where Iceman's like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah.
I like in the porno version when it's a really nervous guy who's jacked, but he's like wearing glasses and he's nervous, and he's like, I'll never be able to come. I'm too cold. And then an absolute pack of women are like, "We'll warm you up, honey."
Nice.
I always thought. Oh, anyway, forget it. Never mind.
Andy, is that Encino Man tidbit real? You're fucked. Yeah, I didn't know.
I'm fucking with you, man.
I mean, maybe in a loose sense, it could have been based on that. Like, I've never read the play. Maybe it's about a stranger coming to town who makes everyone change. That's what Encino Man's about.
I truly-
It's a standard fish out of water story.
I truly
It doesn't
love
have
it.
to be about a fucking caveman for it to be based on it.
I truly love it when I get you. It's just so nice.
You didn't get me.
I
I
got
was not
you.
owned. I was
I
not
got
owned.
you pwned, dude. Just for a hot second. That's nice. Anyway.
Okay, fuck. We only got a couple more of these.
Okay,
so
okay, we only got 15 more of these. Let's go.
2 more, I swear. This is my favorite adaptation of your work, Shakespeare. The restaurant McDonald's is actually an adaptation of Macbeth.
Right.
And the original McDonald's founder wanted to create an interactive, immersive restaurant experience like Sleep No More, but as a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
This was obviously long before Sleep No More, but it's the longest running, highest grossing play in history. And if you listen close, some famous lines from Macbeth can still be heard anytime you enter McDonald's. Like, as you know, in Act 4, when the witches cackle and ask Macbeth if he wants fries with that. Or if you listen close to anyone cleaning the floors in a McDonald's, you'll hear them saying, out damn spot. Out damn spot.
That's fun.
Whoa.
That's fun.
Of course, I like to call it the Scottish restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Prefer
You gotta
not
be
to
careful.
Say the full McDonald's. Yeah, over 1 billion plays served.
And is it true that Grimace is actually the inspiration of Macduff?
Yeah, Grimace is not of woman born.
That's right.
Right.
Grimace was shat out by a bigger drop of purple.
That's right.
Yeah, we love that. The classic quote: "McDonald's shall never be defeated until Burnham Wood come to Golden Arches."
Oh,
That's pretty good, Ev. Did you Google that, or are you just doing that off the dome?
yeah. Holy shit.
Off the dome. I'm an actor.
I mean, I can see the reflection of your screen in
It's
your
reflecting.
glasses, Everardo, but
Yeah.
that's fine. I can read it.
And finally, listen, we got to get to the last one because
Mm.
it's my favorite, and Andy's going to read this one. My
What?
favorite ever Shakespeare adaptation.
Oh, okay,
Andy,
sure.
Check out
Yep.
the document. I've copied and pasted
Yeah, I've seen it.
from
I see it. I see it
Wikipedia.
here. Okay.
Give it a little read.
Oh, fuck off. Okay. All right. And of course, there is the Star Trek TNG honored Shakespeare with their episode A Midsummer Night's Globthrop, where Picard
Yeah.
takes the fucking TNG team back to Shakespeare times via the holodeck. It seems like a fun vacation from their day to woes.
Day-to-day woes.
Day-to-day woes. Sorry, yes. Worf is so
Found it
excited
out.
to meet Shakespeare, but when Shakespeare gets drunk and talks shit about the Klingon god Globthrop, which is not calling him an ugly piece of shit with an insignificant ass bone. Worf goes ballistic and kills himself. That's,
Yeah.
what? Now Shakespeare must write a play so sad it makes Data cry so they can use one of Data's fucking tears to bring Worf back to life. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the B story?
I'm not going to read the B story.
B story, Andy. Read the B
I'm
story.
not.
Come on, for me.
The B story features Geordi getting burned at the stake after refusing to show the king his cool glasses.
Yeah. The king just wanted a peek and Jordy wouldn't show him. So he got burned at the fucking stake.
I like that.
All right, that's I like the B story. Okay, I like the B story.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
They actually, those have some of the most beautiful soliloquies when Worf's talking about how much he respects Globthrop.
Why does he kill himself? Why does he fucking kill himself?
Like Worf's very emotional.
Worf is not
beautiful, Andy.
okay. I feel
Worf's
like
not emotional? Are you kidding me? Worf is a raw nerve. He's pure emotion.
Worf
He's
is.
only yelling.
I think I would like to see maybe some Worf quotes, some Shakespeare quotes done by Worf, maybe.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
Why don't you cue up our special new Worf impression sound cue?
Okay, I've got a nice new Worf impression sound cue. You guys won't be able to hear it, but Twitch will. Here we go. Here's Rolly doing Worf impressions.
I am not a merry man.
All right, we're in it.
Wow. I can only assume that was cool.
It
Here we
was
go.
cool.
Here's Worf in Macbeth. You are not of woman born.
All right, there we go. There we go.
Can I try one?
Okay.
Oh, please.
Romeo, Romeo, wherever art thou, Romeo?
Thou art not a Capulet.
That's great. Fantastic, guys. Thank you.
5, thy father dies, of his bones and coral made.
Wonderful.
Wow. You know some of your own shit well.
Or maybe he's reading it off of a screen.
Hard to know.
Hard to know. Hard to know. Thank you for that.
Rolly, do Worf doing the famous to be or not to be. Come on.
Well, first off, I want to hit you with this one, which is it's from that episode when Shakespeare says, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" And Worf says, "I am not a summer's day." It's really good.
That is good.
I'm a winter night.
And then the to be or not to be, that is the question, the Hamlet monologue. He says, this is from another episode when TNG does Hamlet. I'm actually quoting the TNG Hamlet episode.
What kind of skull is he holding?
So Worf is the skull.
Oh, because Worf's killed himself.
Yeah, and it's Hamlet, who's played by a very uncertain and horny Riker, and he's holding Worf's skull. And yes, this is because Worf killed himself because Hamlet said that Globthrop sucked.
Okay.
And he says, alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well. And then Worf, as the skull, says, I am not Yorick. And then everyone rolls their eyes like classic Yorick.
So wait, the fucking skull talks?
Yeah, the skull talks. He talks like like early like stop motion, like and he goes, I am not poor Yorick. And then Riker goes, apologies, Worf.
I love in that episode when Worf is like, now is not the winter of our discontent.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's like, let me talk. Just let me talk. I like how Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are played by a very cheeky Data and
together. Yeah.
And Geordi. Data and
Data
Geordi just
Geordi,
running around. Data's so funny. He keeps crying. His tears keep bringing people back to life.
So
Geordi's
when does Geordi get burned to death? I guess
That's in a different one. It's in a different one.
I'm sorry. I missed. I was reading the chat. I apologize. I was just people were really impressed with the Worf thing. So sorry about that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
This is the TNG Hamlet adaptation.
Great.
Picard plays fucking Ophelia.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He
Drowns
does.
himself.
I should really know more about Shakespeare, given that I studied to be an actor for several years. But
Oh, did you
sadly-
study the classical treading of the boards of the theater on the stage, or did you study acting for the camera? Did you
No, I actually auditioned for the National Theater School. Like I genuinely
out of here.
Yeah, and I fucked it up. I totally fucked up the audition. I was like,
What monologue did you do?
I did Iago's monologue, Act 1,
Hell
Scene
yeah,
3
you
from
did.
Othello.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Can
I
we
know
hear-
that monologue. That's when
Can
he
we
goes,
hear it a little?
Jafar, you're stuck on. Jafar, I'm stuck in the door. Jafar, I can't breathe.
That's
Jafar.
what it
Yeah,
is.
you did want to show your comedy chops and did it in a Gilbert Gottfried voice.
No, you know,
And then
I
you did a bunch of tasteless street jokes.
Yeah.
I
I heard that the Iago monologue finally let us laugh again after 9/11. Andy, what was your monologue? Do your monologue.
do my monologue.
Yeah, show us your
Can you
monologue.
do a little bit? Do a little bit, please.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do. I remember it because I fucked it up. Like I forgot my last lines. There was like 5
Okay.
people.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Andy, but I am pretty well connected in the theater community. And if you want to do your monologue now, I'm sure I could get you into the National Theater School.
At 41, I'm gonna get into the National Theater School or into like.
Yeah.
Why would I want to get into the? All right.
Think of all the sexy young people you'll meet.
Oh, that's not something you want to bring up there. I'll pass on that.
No, for their story. For their story.
all right. All right, fine. I'll do it. I'll do my monologue. This is Act 1, Scene 3. I'm gonna click to speaker view.
Cool.
Or maybe not. I don't even know if this
Do
works.
it. Yeah.
No, it won't work. Okay, I'm gonna do my monologue. Okay. All right. So, well, you guys don't need the context. Who cares? All right. He's talking about. He's gonna talk about Othello. So, all right. This is harder than I thought it would be. Okay.
Just pretend like we're not even here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thus do I ever make my fool my purse. For I my known gain knowledge would profane if I should time expend with such a snipe, but for my sport and profit. I hate the Moor, and it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he'th done my office. Now I know not if it be true, yet I for mere suspicion of that kind will do as if for surety. He holds me well, the better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man, let me see, to take my place. Ooh, fuck, I fucked it up. Oh my god, I fucked it up. I knew it's like the same spot.
Oh,
it's
wow.
the same spot.
Oh, dude,
So
it's
this
like
is what happened.
watching-
It's the exact same spot.
Andy, the last 2 lines are easy to remember. It's Jafar, I
No.
can't breathe.
No, it's not.
Jafar, I'm trapped. Jafar.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
listen.
easy.
No.
Is it true that the National Theater Company or the people you auditioned for, they said that they thought that it was interesting you brought a kind of almost a pickup artist quality to Iago that they've never seen before?
Listen to me.
That was their. Is it true that was their critique?
I was 18.
That's cool.
Okay.
Andy, it's cool that you were doing this audition for Dimitri the Lover, Toronto's most notorious pickup artist group operator.
I was 18 years old. Okay. I did not know what I was doing. I messed up the line. And then I just kind of like looked off into this, and I looked off. I couldn't remember what I was saying. And then the last line is "Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light." And I said, "Hell and night will bring this monstrous birth to the world's thing." That's what I said. I said, "Hell and night will bring
my
this monstrous
God.
birth to the world's thing."
Did you
And-
play it off as a choice? Like
no,
that you meant
no, I
to do
didn't.
like
I finished
that?
it, and then I looked at them, and I went, like I just did a fuck. I mugged at them, and they all they all laughed. I went, what are you gonna do? I was like, and they laughed, and they all
That's our
just,
Andy.
yeah, and they all just like started writing furiously, and I never heard from them. Go figure. So that was it. That was
Andy,
the end.
This
of it.
reminds me of the other time you auditioned with that monologue, and you said, "All the world's a thing, and we are but poor guys in that thing." It's also pretty loose.
Yeah.
Pretty vague that
Well,
time too.
It was the 90s. It was, kind of like a disaffected era.
Yeah, the 1890s.
Yeah, this was the 1890s, right, Andy?
Yeah, it was back in the 1890s. I auditioned for the National Theatre School of Canada.
That was year one, I think.
No. Fucking. Anyway, that's it.
No,
That's what I did.
Andy.
Honestly, Andy, I really enjoyed that. I was fully enraptured in your performance there.
No, thank you very much.
It was good.
Thank
I
you.
was really into it.
I'm an actor. Yep.
Yeah, you
Andy,
are.
I feel like you could really blow up like TikTok or something doing Shakespeare monologues. I feel like they'd really dig it.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I have gone back on TikTok just to look, and it's still just I can't. I am way too old for that shit. TikTok is a mess. It's just even like there's jokes about how millennials who are like 30 years old are too old for TikTok. It's
Oh yeah, I saw
so
someone
confusing.
tweeting about how
Yeah.
they were 23. They're not going to do this fucking TikTok thing. I was
Yeah.
like, 23.
Yeah, it's
I'm literally 8 times your age. Fucked me up. I
it's
sent
you
them a
guys-
death threat. I didn't know what to do. I panicked.
Are you guys talking about clock repair?
Oh, Shakespeare, you're
Wait.
not familiar with TikTok?
Yeah.
You've okay.
Oh,
Hold on,
you'd
Shakespeare.
love it.
You've written game over in your fucking plays. You have earphones
Andy,
on.
that was about blood sports from the past. He's
Okay.
explained that.
Blood sports, Andy. Blood sports.
I'm just saying, you seem to be just well versed in modern culture, and yet you don't know
pun
what TikTok is. You think it's clock
My-
repair.
I've got one of those crank internet things. You know, you have to crank it every hour for 20 minutes.
Oh, Shakespeare, are you living in a steampunk future?
I am. Yeah. There's mechanical spiders everywhere.
We got a couple questions.
explains-
Awesome.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That explains the diesel I see spewing out behind you,
Yeah.
out of your headphones.
I had a big lunch.
Yeah, let's get some questions,
So,
Andy.
yeah, let's go to some questions right now. Lidv asks, what's Shakespeare? What are you watching on Netflix right now? Do you watch?
Oh
you have
yeah,
any-
on your steam-powered Netflix, Shakespeare. Do you got that?
Well, yeah, and all things, to be honest with you, I've heard that Slings and Arrows is apparently a pretty good program. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten into that yet. I've just been watching Tiger King for the 5th time.
Tiger King. You're cruising through it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Have you tried watching Too Hot to Handle?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone watched that? I
Too
just
Hot to
burned through
Handle?
it last night. It is wild.
Really?
The horniest show on Netflix.
Oh, it's so weird. Every Netflix reality show, I guess, is gonna have this weird like thesis statement that's secretly like pro family values Christian. They're so
Yeah.
weird. Every
Really?
Netflix reality show I've watched, which maybe is just 2, but maybe it's 3, they all start with this like, we've taken this group of hot people who think they're in for just hot times, but we're really
Yeah.
gonna put all weird conditions on them being here, and those conditions are gonna make them
Yeah.
grow. And then by
They
the
literally
end,
say they're like, we've screened for the horniest people out there.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Like that's
And then they're like, by the end
so
of this-
horny.
by the end of this, we want them to couple off and go off and make like stable relationships for our economy. That's what they say. They keep saying for the economy we've done this.
Jesus. There's another question. We have another question.
Yeah.
Shakespeare, what do you think about women acting in your plays?
Oh.
I have no problem with women acting in my plays, you know, as long as
Yep, well, that's it. I shouldn't just. I should probably just not ask every question that goes through the
As
chat.
long as, long as
it's-
what?
Wait, as long
it's
as
good.
As long as it's good.
As long as when they were 12, they were boys.
Wait a second.
wait, don't, let's
Wait, I
not
don't
let's not
understand.
unpack
I
the
heard
logic
you
of this. Let's not unpack the logic.
Can
I
I just
heard
say
you
Just to
something?
changed your-
move on.
I forgot to say this earlier, but you were mentioning Pornhub, Shakespeare.
Mm.
And I just want to clarify for anyone who was confused by that, as I was briefly, that there are 2 separate websites. You're talking about the website that shows pornographic videos that are just sort of cross-genre, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for anyone like me who thought that it was the online chat group for husbands of porn stars who are dealing with it poorly, it's not that.
Okay.
That's a separate thing. There's no Hamilton screening on that Pornhub. That's just an online community for guys who are struggling with their spouses or partners doing pornography, and they're not invited to be a part of it. They're actually explicitly told not to be a part of it, and they're just sort of struggling with that.
Okay, fair enough.
That's also a very important. Yeah, that's Pornhub.org.
Yeah.
I'm of course I'm a Pornhub.com.
Yeah, and Pornhub.eu has all the information about my group.
One last question. Shakespeare, curious, is Christopher Marlowe still alive? Is he also? Can he live forever as well?
You mean one of my most famous collaborators?
Yeah. What
is that? Is that accurate?
I thought he was a.
He was your nemesis.
Nemesis.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
He is. He's still alive, and every year, at the exact same date, at the exact same time, we meet and we have a battle with swords and wit. We both say there could be only one, and it continues to be two. We just usually get pretty tuckered out about 5 minutes into our tussle, and then we give up, have a couple pints, get hammered by a lake usually, and then we go, you walk that way, I'll walk that way.
All right. Well, that's nice to know. I didn't know that you guys. I didn't know that you guys live by like Highlander rules. That's interesting. Okay.
Well, Highlander lives by our rules, really.
Oh,
but
wow.
A lot
All right.
More.
So there's
That's
other
the movie version.
There's other like immortals around. You're saying that usually are they all just playwrights, or is it just a thing that playwrights just can't die, or is it just something that like you two happen to be the two immortal playwrights?
We're the two immortal playwrights.
Okay.
And then there's a couple other immortal beings that are scattered across this universe.
Mm-hmm.
Worf being one of them.
Oh yeah. Okay. You mean Michael Dorn
Worf.
or Worf, the alien, the Klingon?
Michael Dorn.
Oh, Michael Dorn. Okay. All right.
Worf's out there too, though.
Absolutely.
The Worf that Michael Dorn based his characterization on, and you should see how he feels about that characterization. I drink with him sometimes.
Yeah.
He's not into it.
No.
He says, "I do not talk like that." It's fucked. He talks.
I am not a married man.
You do.
Do you hear it yourself?
I try to film him, show him back. He's like, "That's Michael Dorn." I'm like, "It's you. You just said that." He goes, "You're showing me Michael Dorn." I said, "You're sitting on your couch next to me." And then he says, "Michael Dorn was in my house on my couch." He gets fucking freaked. He's funny.
He fights Michael Dorn, and they both say there could be only one, and then they tucker themselves out.
Yeah. I like it when Worf at the end of his fights goes, "Let's have a pint. Let's have a pint. Let's have a pint of lager. Let's go down the pub.
Can I use your bathroom, please?
I need to use your bathroom."
It's a bit of an emergency.
All right, guys, we are at an hour and a half. Just saying, right now.
Okay, let's wrap it up soon.
Okay.
Andy, do we have any one last question for Old Whale?
Do we have any more one last questions? I just gotta scroll. Oh, I mean Shakespeare. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Russell Peters?
Oh yeah.
You like Russell Peters?
He's trying to make his way into the world of living forever, and I don't think we're gonna let him in.
Okay.
Is
Fair
it
enough.
true that he stole the line "somebody gonna get hurt real bad" from one of your plays?
Yeah.
One of your
That's
great
right.
Tragedies.
Yeah,
That was actually one of the prophecies that the witches in Macbeth said, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
I think it's something Tybalt says to Romeo when he's telling him to stay away from his sister.
Okay.
Right.
He goes, "Somebody gonna get hurt real bad," and then Romeo says, or someone's like, "Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?" And he goes, "Let's just say somebody's gonna get hurt real bad."
But honestly, I can't hate the guy too much. You gotta respect the hustle. Certainly.
Yeah,
put a lot of work
exactly.
into
I
his
agree.
career.
I agree.
He's had ups, he's had downs. Oh boy, he's traveled the world. What more can we do, huh?
That's true.
He opened a lot of doors. Can't
Opened a
eat it
lot
too
of
much.
doors.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen, we gotta motor through some last things. Shakespeare, you famously, as we're all hearing endlessly, were in your own form of quarantine when you wrote King Lear.
That's right. I don't know if you know this, but we dealt with the bubonic plague. All right, it's not something to fuck around with. But so that plague lasted 60 months. So what month are you in now?
Day one.
Not day one.
well.
We're not. We've been quarantined for about a month now, a little over a month. Dad has been doing it for one day, I guess, because he wanted to go to some masquerade party.
No, I lied about the masquerade party. I was at a Broadway production with Shakespeare of Hamilton for Landlord's Ultimate.
Oh, I thought that was including. I was listening. I just thought it was. I thought it was as well. I thought you went there and then you guys went to a masquerade party. But okay, you lied.
That's true. Actually, yeah, I lied. Yeah, we went to the mask party afterwards, and it was fucked. It was so fucking awesome.
Double lie.
It was fucked.
It was fun.
Shakespeare got fucked and sucked.
Yeah.
I watched it
Jesus.
all.
Yeah.
Right.
It was gross.
And then I sucked and fucked.
Okay, you switched it up. That's nice. You gave as well as got. So good for you.
Hence, that's why they call me Wet Willie.
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking down. Oh God. Don't look down.
Shakespeare, I remember you screaming, "Shall I compare me to a vacuum?" And then you sucked like a man.
I literally sucked a golf ball through a garden hose.
Yeah, went out undigested, right out, plopped out your butt. All the guys from Pooh Fighters were there. They screamed. They were like, "Get your guitars. We are writing." Oh, fuck. All right, listen, we are getting nuts here.
Yeah.
I want to know, because that's such a famous accomplishment during quarantine. What has everyone else been working on during quarantine? Ev, do you have anything fun?
Well, just been, like I said, I've been doing my Patch Adams routines, going to old folks' homes, going to hospitals, getting a lot of negative feedback actually on that. Initially, the mayor of Toronto had my back, and now he's refusing to acknowledge it and actually saying it's a bad idea. So, yeah, he's pretty much pissed me off this week, and I'm going to go through with it. I'm still going through with the thing because it does bring joy to people when I'm doing my routine. I'm trying out new bits for old people who are sick, and it is helping.
Are you doing like traditional clowning, or are you like doing bits? Like
no, I'm doing like I'll do jokes. Like I'll do jokes. I'll be like, so what did Fred Flintstone say to Tony Soprano?
What's that?
Okay.
And then
what was it?
Yabba Gabba Ghoul. Yabba Gabba Ghoul.
Okay. That's what Fred
And they don't get
said
it.
to Tony.
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone was talking
Yeah,
to Tony
but
Soprano, and he said that.
Yeah. So,
He
and they
said
don't
that.
get it, but it's just, honestly, if I don't do stand up every single day of my life, I will kill myself, I think. And that's why, this is going to end.
Gotcha.
Anyway, that's what I've been working on.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
doing stand up for nurses, for old people.
That's
cool.
good. Yeah.
Making a difference.
Everybody
Andy,
needs
are
to
you
laugh.
working on anything?
I'm trying to get back on sleep schedule. Really, that's it. I'm trying to get back on sleep schedule. I'm trying to just track what my roommates are cooking every day, and keep it out of my room, and just keep my room hermetically sealed, so it's just me and my smells and everything. Just keep my
I feel
smells
like,
inside.
Andy, if they keep cooking what they're cooking, you're gonna have to go into your preservatives cupboard and open up a little can for them. And you know what's gonna be in that can?
What? That's
Whoop-ass.
Yeah, whoop-ass, yeah. I don't have a problem with them cooking. I really don't. I just need to block it out. That's all. Everyone's got to cook. We all got to. We are going to cook, and I'm sure that it's good food. I just got to keep it out.
Now,
We all gotta cook.
We all got to cook.
We gotta cook.
We got to cook.
I heard that
I got to cook,
if
Jerry.
you do
I gotta
that, I heard that if you walk past your roommates a few more times and spray Febreze at them while they're cooking, if you do that like 10 or 12 more times, Guinness is actually gonna make an entry for you for most passive aggressive roommate.
It's not passive.
Yeah.
It's not passive aggressive. I'm not. See, I shouldn't be talking about this
think it's
because
the epitome of
they're
passive
some of them will be listening to this. I love the cooking. We all got to cook. I do things that are like we have to cook. It's fine.
Yeah.
You gotta
We
cook.
got to cook. I just
They
have
said
some.
you explaining
I
it.
just have some. I just have some Febreze that I use. It's all good.
Got a bit of
I
coke.
got candles that I can figure it out. It's fine.
Have you ever thought about putting positive pressure into your bedroom?
Or I just
Positive
open
pressure.
the window. Positive
So
pressure.
that positive pressure, so that air doesn't travel into your room, it's only traveling out of your. Do you have a window in your bedroom? You can set up a fan to induct air into your room. Therefore, there's more
Wow.
air in your room than there is in the hallway, and then
So
it keeps the smells out. This is basic HVAC.
So I think Shakespeare did write
Seinfeld.
Aliens because that's how they killed that one person.
A lot of respect to Shakespeare for doing that piece of true good science advice in Seinfeld voice. More or less.
I am a man of many voices. Do you want to hear some of them?
But well, first, I genuinely do. But I just want to say, Andy, I absolutely want you to take this advice, get this set up so that you can stop receiving the food smell, and instead you can start piping out the smell of old cum. For your neighbors, for your roommates and your neighbors.
And he doesn't mean cum that's been sitting around. He just means your cum.
My cum, I know. My old cum from
Pipe
the-
out the smell of that.
Just pipe it out.
Day 3 cum.
That could be a good episode title for a Murdoch mystery.
Oh my
Yeah, old cum.
Old cum.
My old cum.
Have you? I don't think you've ever seen Murdoch Mysteries, Shakespeare. It's not quite on tone.
I did meet Murdoch though.
You did?
Yeah. He helped me finish the writing for Romeo and Juliet.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, what if they both die, but it's like awkward.
Yeah, my favorite part from that is when the priest finds their bodies and he goes, "This is so random." They probably killed each other in the craziest different way. This is random. You guys want to know what I'm working on during
Yes, what are you working on?
19?
Yeah.
So much good stuff. Well, I've been going a bit nuts. So my small hobby project that I'm not trying to get any sort of financial gains out of is I've been making obscene phone calls to recent widows.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Yeah, I've been telling them that I'm their I've been telling them that I'm their late husband.
What the
and
fuck, Dad?
I'm in heaven and God won't let me in unless they tell me what they're wearing. So that's been fun.
That's
That's
fucking
funny.
crazy.
That's been fun.
Gotta like it.
That sounds really fun.
That's fun. And then I'm working on a screenplay for a Pixar movie. I'm going to pitch it to Pixar. And it's called The Screwdriver That Wanted to Be a Hammer or some shit like that. And it's about an adorable screwdriver who really wants to be a hammer, but he's a fucking screwdriver instead. So and everyone's always like, "You're a screwdriver, just accept it." But one day he escapes from the toolbox and he goes on an adventure. And then in the end, someone uses him to bash something into place. And he's like, "Yeah, that's what, yeah, that helps.
That's good enough.
And like a hammer's watching and he's like, "Couldn't have done it better myself, my friend."
And
the
they
screwdriver's
just, in a classic Pixar fashion, you're gonna devastate the audience early on with his backstory, right?
Oh yeah, the first 10 minutes is about a child being slowly ground into the form of a screwdriver. No, that was my first draft. The new draft is the first 10 minutes is a child growing up and then dying before his 12th birthday. He was like the best kid. Everyone fucking loved him. And then he dies and the family's so upset. And then it cuts to the funeral home and they're screwing his casket shut. And the screwdriver is the one screwing. That's the first. It's 10 minutes in when you first meet the screwdriver. And he's screwing the casket shut. And he's like, "I hate my job." And then he looks over across the way at hammers being used on a construction site. And they're all fucking singing and laughing. And he's like, "That's what I want."
And he's like kind of
caskets, child caskets.
So the
I hate this.
so the kid has nothing to do with the Scrooge.
No.
Just
No,
get to
the
know a
first 10
child and watch it
first-
die.
Yeah. The first 10 minutes are an intense red herring.
Fall in love with the child.
I have received some notes from the Pixar organization, and they've said they are like, they don't like it. So
Okay.
far, they don't like it.
You showed me some pages of some more of the Screwdriver's backstory where he had a wife who was actually a screw, and it was the wrong shape. He was like a Phillips head, and she was a flat. And he tried to go in anyway, and he stripped the thing and killed her.
Yeah, he stripped her
Holy
bare.
shit! This is terrible Pixar. This is a horrible Pixar movie. Did you?
And
It
then,
was.
like,
I
it's
did.
good.
I have to say, I
It's
did.
good. It's got a song, Andy.
Okay.
It's got a song.
Yeah.
I got Randy Newman to do the soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice.
And he wrote this song called "Anytime Someone Tries to Define You, Freak Out and Become Something Else."
Yeah.
If they say you can't do it, oh, freak out. Throw a temper tantrum and do it. You gotta. And don't forget you're you.
Oh, that's nice.
And
I'm just
I heard you had a pretty hard time convincing him not to use a racial slur in that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
He
was.
kept
Yeah,
wanting. He kept
he's
wanting
trying
this.
to go back. Sorry, go on, Ev.
No, I shouldn't. I wouldn't even say
Yeah.
what he was trying to put in there.
He was tapping into old school Randy Newman, short people, N-word style lyrics. And I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. But he was like,
Let me dip my beak in the old school a bit.
He's like, this is in character. This one line of the song is in character.
yeah. And I was like, wait, which character? And he was like,
Trust me.
Yeah, he
The
gets
character I call
pissed.
Bad Randy. Bad Randy.
I'm just curious
yeah,
why did you make the Pliers the comic relief, and why did you give them like a really just heavy Italian accent? Like I.
oh,
Yeah,
because it's
Roberto
funny.
Benigni as the Pliers was. I liked
Yeah,
it.
it was a little weird.
It's me. I truly can only, when I try to think of Roberto Benigni's accent, I just combine the only Italian accent I can think of, which is like Big Mama's boy
Mario.
constructor
Like
with
Mario.
like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
heavy chest hair Mario with baby. That's how I make Roberto Benigni in my head. Just, hey, it's me.
That's
You know what I mean?
totally Mario
That's
from
pretty unfair.
N64. It's a me,
Oh,
Mario.
yeah. It's a little baby.
Which is, I don't think
Wahoo!
the guy that does that is not fucking Italian, which is insane. When you see him, he's just like this old.
How is he fucking?
Yeah, he's fucking. He's fuck.
Yeah, Chris Cuomo actually devotes quite a bit
Shakespeare,
of
I'm
his
so
time
tired.
every night on CNN
It's
talking
okay.
about Italian rights.
Does he really?
And he's like,
I
I
feel
can't
like-
believe Mario is not voiced by an Italian guy.
Oh yeah.
Don't call us whatever.
Oh man, I
whatever
really
they were
hope.
going on about
I
months
really
ago.
hope we're never forced to give up Italian jokes. It feels like it's such a nice, safe, final resting place for stereotypes, and it's nice to do.
Yeah.
It feels like a victimless crime. I'm sure it's not, but
It's not.
Man,
It's not. Honestly, in a couple of years, we're gonna be like, let's delete these podcasts.
ugh,
I'm sorry.
it's gonna be some. There's gonna be some weird anti-Italian hate crime, and it's just gonna ruin the whole batch for all of us.
Well, you know that Italians and
Yeah.
Irish people were like attacked very like early on. You know, like when they first came to
Yeah,
America.
but they got past it.
Yeah.
All
They're
right.
happy now.
What do you think,
They're happy
Everardo?
now.
I am Italian.
Italian and
Yeah,
you're
my
Italian
mom
and
is
Mexican,
straight
right?
up Italian. Yeah.
Italian, yeah.
And I think it's fun.
Okay, all right.
But to be fair, I am racist. So.
Okay, all right. Okay.
We'll
Um,
always have
my favorite-
Greek.
This is going to be
Yeah, the
things that
Greeks-
don't make it to the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what
This
my
will be-
favorite Mario line is? My favorite
What?
Mario quote? It's the quote he makes when he drives off the hill in Mario Kart, and he goes, "Aye!" That's my favorite Mario quote.
Oh, that is actually an act. Yeah, I love that.
Do you want to hear my impression of a Greek parents naming their newborn child?
Yeah.
Can I buy a bunch of vowels?
Wow.
Okay.
That's
okay.
great.
We're getting just.
That's
getting
great.
Closer.
Can I buy too many vowels?
But you're
I
but
like
you're
that.
Greek, right? Shakespeare, you're Greek, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, I love anal.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Shakespeare's approaching the 2-hour mark and he's cutting loose.
Shakespeare is Greek. It's okay. We all know Shakespeare's Greek, so it's fine. I can't make fun of anyone because I'm just
Into
full.
the tragedy.
Fellas,
All right.
listen. It's been a slice, but it's time to round into the final segment of the day. And you know what that means? It's a little trivia with
Okay, let's.
fresh from the set of Narcos himself, Everardo Ramirez with trivia.
Trivia.
Oh man. Okay, let's. Well, we got Shakespeare trivia because it is Shakespeare Day here on live stream. Just classic Shakespeare trivia. Let's get into it. Question 1. Shakespeare's wife is named after which famous celebrity? Is it A, Elizabeth Moth, B, Dame Edna, C, Anne Hathaway, or D, Carmen Electra?
Shakespeare's wife is named after this person?
Yes.
Taking
After a
some
famous
liberties with
celebrity.
these. Okay. Shakespeare, you'd know better than we would.
Yeah, I guess Shakespeare has it.
I want to say Carmen Electra, but you guys
You wish,
should,
Shakespeare.
obviously I know the answer, so you guys should go ahead and submit your responses, and then
Yeah, let's say Carmen
Right, I
Electra.
guess it is.
Carmen Electra. Yep, I'll go with Carmen Electra. We all going with Carmen Electra.
It is. Well, it is Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
Oh, her name
Anne
was
Hathaway.
Anne. That's right.
Anne Hathaway. Okay,
You know,
question 2.
Anne Hathaway was actually named after a Shakespeare. Her last name's a Shakespeare phrase.
What is it?
That's how Shakespeare pronounces "have a way," but she changed it to sound Shakespearean.
Hathaway.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She dressed it up, but her family's called Hathaway, and then she calls herself Hathaway, and everyone's like, "Oh, take it
Electra
easy,
Shakespeare. Okay.
Anne. Yeah, calm down."
I get it. Anne has a way.
I heard Shakespeare's wife carried James Franco through a ceremony back in Victorian days, or at least whatever Shakespeare days were.
Oh man, referencing the Anne Hathaway James Franco Oscars hosting debacle. That's a deep cut.
you were thinking of the Golden Globes, I think.
Oh, is it the Globes?
No,
Right.
My theater was the Globes.
Okay,
Ooh,
question
awards.
2.
We're all so tired all of a sudden.
Yeah, we're really tired.
Yeah, I feel like my laptop has been on my lap this whole time. I feel like I can't have children anymore.
All right.
Okay, question 2. Which Shakespeare plays was adapted into Klingon? Andy, was it Hamlet,
Hamlet.
Othello, Merchant, or Romeo and Juliet?
Hamlet.
Well, we know about Hamlet. We know about the taming of the Globthrop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was Hamlet.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
that makes sense. It's all wordy and shit. I can imagine all the Klingon nerds getting off on that.
All right.
Andy, do you speak any Klingon?
No.
Could you do to be or not to be in Klingon?
No, I can't speak. I can't. I just like Star Trek. I'm not like insane. Like I don't know, fucking Klingon or anything like
You're
that.
not a nerd.
I'm not a nerd. Exactly.
Did you enjoy the Bohemian Rhapsody?
I did.
Klingon?
We
did?
played
Oh
it.
my
We played
God.
it. We played it on our podcast.
Very
Isn't that
nice.
that guy's from
Made
I
me
think
sick.
Edmonton,
Winnipeg?
Winnipeg? Okay, Winnipeg.
Damn.
I don't know if they included this
Well,
in the
he's
podcast,
cool,
but
then.
I had to be rushed to the emergency room after that because I shot myself in the mouth.
Jesus Christ.
I pulled out a gun that I hadn't held in ages and I put it in my mouth and I killed myself.
Yeah, you really didn't like that.
And my last words were, "Tell that guy it's his fault.
Okay.
Tell all of them they did this."
And we couldn't quite understand you because the barrel was in your mouth, but that's good to know. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? I once saw a group of people speaking Klingon together. You know what I said to them? "Hey fellas, cling off. for a change.
Ouch.
Cling off."
All right. Which which MCU movie was directed by famous Shakespeare lover Kenneth Branagh? Is it Doctor Strange, Thor, Iron Man 3, or Ant-Man and Wasp?
Thor.
I know this one.
It's Thor.
What do we think?
Thor.
Thor.
Yep.
It is Thor.
Well, first of all, I object to you getting the title of Doctor Strange wrong. You didn't use the full title, Doctor Strange, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Magic.
Had to alienate your friends and learn magic.
Yeah.
I have to say, I like that
Kenneth
Branagh directed Thor. Yeah,
He did direct Thor. There's actually a Shakespeare kind of Easter egg in Thor. I don't know if you caught it.
What is it?
Or it was like actually it was a deleted scene. It was on the big box set that just came out, where they're like they're kind of showing like Thor and Loki throughout history, and then they go down to Earth and they crash one of Shakespeare's plays.
Whoa.
Cool.
Stan Lee's like, hey Bill, you should write about that.
Yeah. Stan Lee's he's like got a quill instead of a phone, and he's like, hey Bill, remember that new idea you were looking for? Listen to this.
All right.
She's like, maybe I will.
Kind
of
you know what? Thor actually makes an appearance in my Pixar movie. And then my little screwdriver looks over and he goes, "Now that's a hammer."
Thor's coming out of the shower.
He's like, "Hey, get out of here!" And they're like, "Scram! He's on to us."
Screw you, man.
Well, it is all Disney, so it would work.
That's right. Part of the same umbrella corp. Any other cues there, Ev?
All right, final question. And this is not a multiple choice. We'll just kind of open-ended. What modern atrocity is Shakespeare directly responsible for?
Okay.
The Halifax explosion. Oh, we don't even get options. You just have to.
There's no options.
We just pick
like
whatever.
We just pick whatever
essay
modern
style.
atrocity that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Modern
Oh,
atrocity.
great! Someone in the chat said Andy's career. That's good.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
That's
sick.
what. That is what the
Pretty
National Theater
mean.
said.
Thou art
mean.
burnt.
Pretty
Thou
mean
art
calling. Pretty mean calling that modern, but.
Oh, wow. Double down. Oh, that's a Shakespeare double down.
Ev's
would
nipples is
say-
another one. Ev's nipples. Sorry, I'm just throwing these out because people are writing.
So
They're loving it.
Sorry, the Twitch.
The horoscope.
Anyway.
I'll just say it. Try to say it, or Rolly, do you have a guess?
Kind of.
I'll give you a hint. It's something that like teachers do a lot. Like teachers or like
9/11.
Yeah, teachers do 9/11. Teachers did 9/11. That's the reality of it.
I'd say the
I have a
modern
T-shirt
atrocity.
that says "Teachers do 9/11."
It's on a T-shirt.
I've been selling like hotcakes to students who don't like school. It's in the present tense. That's what they love about it. Teachers do 9/11 every day in class.
The thing that Shakespeare's the modern atrocity Shakespeare's responsible for is teachers trying to engage their students by saying that Shakespeare was the first rapper.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Actually, the
That is
answer.
true.
I was gonna say Ebola, but
No.
Well, that one that's just a theory. They can't prove it.
that's right.
Tell us though, Shakespeare. You can tell us right now. He's coy. He's the original cam boy. Shakespeare's a cam boy. That's a T-shirt that's selling hot too.
Shakespeare's a cam boy.
Shakespeare's a cam boy. I feel like I'm going fucking bananas.
I'm going a little bit bananas right now.
I'm happy though. I'm glad we broke through the podcast like the normal amount of time barrier. I see
Yeah,
the
like-
time barrier.
There's a
And-
time
and
where
now
we're at like 2 hours and something right now, and I like
I
that
feel
there's some
like
hardcore
we're in
people still
space now.
watching. We're
How many
it's you
people
know
are
what
watching this?
we could we're at 29. We've lost a few people, but that's fine. Fuck them. I like this. I think we should try one if you want. We could try a marathon if you want.
That's fun.
Somebody.
Yeah, we
Let's
should.
We
do
could
a
do a marathon. We have
6-hour
guests coming. We could literally do like a 2-day or like a day or maybe 12-hour marathon.
Here's what I want. I want to find a way over the course of several episodes to whittle our fan base down until it's just like one person, but with the density of multitudes. And then they come to our houses and kill us all.
Yes, let's have guys. If you guys, by the way, everyone, we have a Discord server now. You can go on the Discord server. There's a link on our Twitter, and yeah, you guys can fight for who will be the one. There can only be one fan. That's what it'll be, the contest where you all just until people just kind of like it's like our like Picnic Face. It just kind of went away. People were like,
we're starting an only fan account.
Yeah,
Only fan.
just one. Just fucking one person. I know who
We'll
it is
send out-
already. I know who it's going to be. I'm not going to say it, but I know
Oh,
which person
it's
it'll be.
Motown Billy
Yes,
Cum.
all right. It's
Seems
gonna be
like an early
Motown.
front runner.
Billy Cum is the front runner right now.
But I don't want to discredit anyone else. That's just the name I've heard the most, and believe it or not, the name that sticks with you.
Yeah, you're
Something
right.
about it. Something about that name that's hard to, whip out
Yeah,
of your
get away.
brain,
And I also, I
honestly.
gotta say, I love that I don't know who you are in real life. Anyone. I don't want to know
wanna know.
anybody. Just keep your
Oh, I
handles.
love it.
Let's keep it like the fucking Matrix. Don't tell me who you are. I love it. Okay,
Yeah.
Motown Billy Cum.
Make like Andy in quarantine and keep your handles.
keep my handles.
Does that work?
What? What does that
Does
mean?
that work? Love
I don't-
handles?
Love
Can't
love
be-
handles. Oh, I'm getting real chunky. So chunky. And I'm not
Just trying something.
shaving my beard. It's great. And
Are
for
you
the
not?
record, I love my roommates. We actually are. We do. It's very nice. I don't mean to say like I am, because they listen to this. Some of them, which is very nice of them.
Great people. I met them all.
They're
So
Um,
that's
I'm
the only
gonna sh-
reason why you're saying that.
No, I'm just saying it's like the cooking thing is.
You would
I'm an
never
annoying
say it to
person.
their
I'm an
face,
annoying
but-
old man. I'm an old grumpy man. I'm hard to
That's
live
not what you
with.
were saying before we started recording.
What? That's not true at all. God damn it.
There's a reason we call Andy the jeans. It's because he's always covering his own ass. How's that? Is that anything?
That's
That
better
work?
than the handles thing.
Is that better? Am I inching my way back to respectability?
Oh God. All right.
Okay.
God, I'm losing it.
It has been a treat, Mr. Shakespeare. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have any last words you want to impart? Advice for the quarantine? Things that people can check out of yours?
Go forth onto the world and let your fury rain down upon your keyboards with great determination, and love never hath away to you. Unless you win
Beautiful.
it.
Wow, that's sick. Thank you,
Check
Shakespeare.
out Hunk's comedy.
Check it out.
Oh,
All right.
Is it true you're writing mini plays for them for their weekly live streams?
That's right. I'm writing mini plays called it's the Saga of Quarantine Wolf, and
No,
Fair
really
enough.
picking up
Nice.
some steam.
I love it.
Awesome.
yeah, check out Hunk's comedy. And just to pull a name out of thin air, check out at Tim Gray on Twitter, or any of the Hunk's comedy team.
Wait, is it at Tim Gray or at Tim Gray Rules
at Tim Gray rules?
with a Z?
I don't know.
Shakespeare, do you know? Shakespeare, do you know?
We
It's-
won't spoon feed it.
I mean,
to
it's
you.
in the literally it's in the video. But I guess yeah, for the podcast at Tim Gray Rules
With a Z.
with a Z.
Zed.
Right.
Okay, well, that's it for this episode, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
Everardo. Thank you to our
Yeah.
producer, Stephen. And thank you
Thanks,
to the
guys.
29 people going on one that are still tuning in. We'll reduce you. Farewell.
Bye.
I am not a merry man. I am not a merry